sick, me Reggaeville.
Reggaeville family, this is SummerJam 2018 and I have the pleasure to be with a very good brethren of mine who has performed today as a surprise guest. This is Ras Muhamad, the reggae ambassador from Indonesia. Welcome.
Yeah, give thanks again.
How is everything with you?
Everything's great. Touring Europe, a couple of the sites, and also working on the album. So it's nice. Yeah.
Very busy. You've been playing together with Toke, your
Yeah.
brethren from Germany, since April, I think.
Yeah.
Where have you been? How was it like?
Mostly we've been around Deutschland. So we went around it was Nürtingen, Karlsruhe, a bunch of cities, like a dozen cities. So it's nice,
So you learned some German in the meantime?
Maybe a little bit.
Like what, for example?
No. Now you put me on the spot. I'm blanking out now.
Yeah, how comes I don't speak no Indonesian as yet, right? So, okay, all right. You said also you've been working on the album.
Yeah,
Please tell me a bit more about that. Who you've been working with?
Well, I've been working between Berlin and Munich. So the album is produced by Oneness Records. But I also work with Ganjaman. He's like somewhat of my musical guru. So it's really nice because he's a very great artist and a very great person with a big heart. So he's challenging me vocally and musically and all of that. So it's really nice. We're working at his studio right now, Planet Earth Studio Berlin. So it's nice.
How did you get to work with him? Because I know you've been working with Oneness previously
Yeah.
to that. But how you get to work with Ganjaman?
For one thing, Toke is based in Berlin now, so I want him to be a part of my album to, let's just say, oversee the album, because during the process of the songwriting, before we went on productions, that he was there, so I want him to be a part of it, just giving me some inputs, because I love the bouncing of ideas. A different process with like the Salam album, it was pretty much done all in Indonesia, so I was just by my lonesome, and this time it's nice to have like great musicians around and giving me like inputs and all of that, change it this way and this and that, so it gives me a challenge, and I love a challenge, and it gives me more like an advancement for as a musician. Yeah.
So how has this been different from the previous album? How have the experiences of you traveling the world, getting to know people, going to Jamaica influenced this album that's coming up now?
Wow, it influenced me a whole heaps, because this time is pretty much a personal album, because I noticed maybe the last past 2 years I had, let's just say, a struggle in writing songs in which I feel that my heart is in it, writing about social commentaries and all of that, and I feel like this time it's more personal. It's more of my personal experiences as the reggae ambassador of Indonesia, but also somewhat like a rebirth of like me introducing myself again as an artist and redefining myself. So it's a really great process, and also I think one of the big reasons that pushed me for this album, I went through some personal experience in my life in which it was, let's just say, negative, because I was in a very deep and dark place. At the end of last 2017, my dad passed away, and I had, c'est la vie, but thank you. And I had some family problems, and I also had a girl that broke my heart. So that happened at a very close amount of time. So it really driven me to show something and turn it into a positive. So music was like pretty much like the angel that lifted me up with her wings and just took me out of this very deep and dark place. So yeah, the album is not necessarily dark, but it's in a different side of is not really the Ras Muhamad that people know. It's more like because my real Indonesian name is Egar. It's more of the Egar that people need to see, the human side, not just he's the reggae ambassador or a superstar and this and that. And also want to show the side of like what I'm experiencing with my own two eyes in Europe and the personal experience, and also when I went to Jamaica and all of that. So yeah, it's gonna be a great one.
Sounds very, very interesting. So listening to that, I'm wondering how far can you as a person go with your music? You say there's Ras Muhamad, he's the reggae ambassador, he's the superstar, and you're making this music with sort of a professional character, right?
Yes.
How, when you wrote the songs, showing your personal side as you explained, was there ever a moment where you said, oh, this is too personal, I cannot share this with the world, I don't want to reveal this side of mine, or does that never occur?
Oh, well, it occurred a couple of years ago until I very much admire an artist in which I draw inspiration from. One of them is Protege. Protege, he's a Rasta man, but he's shown that he's not perfect. He's shown that you can be vulnerable and can play it, you can show it in the songs. You don't have to be this very much the hyper masculine, like every time I burn a fire and this and that, but you actually can show the softer side of, each human beings, because we are, black and white, you have the light and dark and everything, and it needs to be shown in that perspective, and I feel that I draw that energy and show it in my own personality. So yes, I was afraid because I feel like it's kind of naked. People didn't know the inside of my head and the inside of my heart, instead of just the social commentaries. So, but I'm taking that bold and brave move. Yeah, not just lyrically, not just thematically, but the music itself, like I am experimenting on different things. It's going to be a bit of jazz, a bit of R&B, there's some hip-hop, so it's more of also the personal music that I listen to. I don't just listen to reggae music. There's even one of the would be the closing track of the album. I did something with Pole. It was just Pole of the Gentleman Evolution Band. Yeah, it was just a beer grand piano track, and I did something like poetry, but in a reggae breath. So it was just like no hook line and all of that, and it's just my inside thought of how I felt like and this and that. And yeah, so it's quite experimental, and me as a musician having more being involved in songwriting and all of that. So well excited for the album.
Yeah, man, it sounds exactly like that. Very, very exciting. I'm very looking forward. You mentioned already that you will have different musical styles as well on it. You said you wrote the lyrics yourself. Did you also write the music, compose the music yourself?
Right. It was so it was co-written by me. So most of the vibes I get was in Bali or maybe in Jamaica. So I write something, with my little guitar and whatever minimal skills I have, and then I send it to to Munich, to Oneness, and they're like, oh, I like this, and then they interpret it in their own way, And I think the album we are pushing for March 2019, and I will shoot a video for it in Budapest. It would be actually the first lead single of it, and I think people would be surprised because it's actually the heartbreak song.
Wow. So when will this single drop?
This single dropped at the same time with the album, Yeah, I mean, even the title itself, because I had songs like, like Re-Education, Salam, and Learn and Grow, everything's like social. This one, the title is called Pretty Girl Issues.
Wow, okay, sounds very personal indeed.
Personal, but there's actually also a social commentary about it, about how society deems what is the definition of beauty, and maybe as you as a female, maybe I don't see you as someone that would take pressure off society. What is the definition of beauty? But I think there is a lot of women that get followed into that stream of even men itself, and all of that. So that's the social commentary, I guess.
Wow, it sounds really, really interesting. I'm a bit sad that it's going to take so long still until it's going to be released, but patience is the key.
Summertime go by quick,
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Wow, but that's very nice. We have definitely something to look forward to. So at which part in the process of production are you now? You finished the recording, I guess, the mixing done, the mastering?
Actually, we will finish by the summer. I'm still going back and forth. But in this summertime, I will be releasing a free single. It's called Bamboo Kras. Bamboo Kras is Indonesian actually for hard bamboo, but it's actually a wordplay of, can I say it? In the Jamaican?
Yeah, we're uncensored.
It's a wordplay meaning bombo klat. Yeah, but so I changed it to Bamboo Kras. It's like, kubilang ko sa tango Bamboo Kras, kamanat off like Bamboo Kras. So yeah, I played it today and people were like, huh?
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice wordplay. All right, so we got at least a free single ahead of time before the album drops next year. I wish you all the best for this album coming up, and I'm really looking forward to listening. Ras Muhamad, give thanks, blessed love.
Blessed love, yeah. Good thanks. Peace.
Me bad, me sick, me Reggaeville.